All right, let's go over the exit ticket. Number 1 says the first step to solving 6 equals x minus 3 divided by negative 2 is that you must blank. So the first thing I always have you guys do is you separate the two sides of your equation and you circle whatever's with the letters. So when you read it, it says x minus 3. So that's the part you're going to leave alone. It says divided by negative 2. So the first thing you would do is multiply by negative 2. So we go down, we find that answer, and it's D. Number 2, what is the solution to 0.4 equals x minus 2.7 divided by 6? So let's separate this, circle the first thing we read, and now we're going to do the opposite. So the opposite of dividing by 6 is times 6 on both sides. So that cancels, and now I'm going to type this in. 6 times 0.4, and I get 2.4. So on this side, I now have 2.4 equals x minus 2.7. So I want to get this x by itself. So the opposite of minus 2.7 is just plus 2.7. So we type this in to make sure we get 0. So when I look at it, it's minus 2.7 plus 2.7. We got 0, so we can cross this off. That's gone. Now we just have x equals, and we type in the other side, 2.4 plus 2.7. The answer is 5.1. So now you're going to go back and check that with your calculator. So we think x equals 5.1. And then we come down, we type the problem. So we're going to type just this portion right here. X minus 2.7. All of that part divided by 6. And we got 0.4, which is exactly what we should have got. So the correct answer is 5.1. All right, number 3. So let's go ahead and separate our equation into two sides. And we're going to read it. So y plus 6, we're going to leave that alone. Divided by 2, so that means we're going to multiply by 2. This cancels out, and now we have y plus 6 equals negative 5 times 2. You can type that in your calculator. I know it's negative 10. So now if we want to get y by itself, we do the opposite of plus 6, which is subtract 6. So go ahead and type that in, because this is where people make their mistake. Positive 6, so that's just 6 minus 6. And if you get 0, you can cross it off, and whatever you did here, you do the same thing here. So now I know that this side is going to be y equals negative 10 minus 6 is negative 16. So we're going to check that. So the first thing you type in is y equals negative 16. And then we're going to type in the question part, which is just here, y plus 6 divided by 2. And it says the answer is negative 5. And when I look back over here, it is negative 5. So that means that is the correct answer. All right, last one. If p minus 16 divided by 4 equals 12, what is the value of p? So once again, step number 1 is you want to separate your equation and circle whatever's with the letter. So p minus 16 would be the first thing you read. So you circle that and leave it alone. So this line means divide. Divided by 4. So we're going to do the opposite and multiply by 4. That cancels out, and what we're left with is p minus 16. I'm going to do this over here. P minus 16 equals 12 times 4 is 48. So now we want to get this p all alone, isolate the variable. So the opposite of this minus 16 is plus 16. Once again, please type it in just to make sure you get 0. And we do. So that means that we're going to add 16 to both sides. That gave me 0. P equals, and then we type this in just to make sure we have the right answer. 48 plus 16 gives you 64. And now we're just going to check it because we think the answer is 64. Let me clear this out a little bit for you. So first you type in what you think the answer is. We think it is p equals 64. And then we come down and we type the problem. P minus 16 divided by 4. And it gave me 12, and the answer is 12. So we got the right answer. I want you guys to remember that you can always use your calculator to solve all this stuff, and I'll show you in this last one. So what I can do is I see that the variable is p. So what I would do is type in p equals, and I take the first answer choice as 0. Then I come down and I type just the problem. So p minus 16 divided by 4. And I'm trying to get an answer of 12, this right here. And this says -4, so I know the answer is not 0. So what I do is I come over here and I try the next answer choice, which is 32. And when I look at it, it gives me an answer of 4. But I want it to be 12, so it's not 32. So now I go to the answer choice C, 64. And I get a 12, and the answer should be 12. So that's one way to solve multi-step equations, is just use your Desmos calculator. Hope that helped you guys.